everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing good. I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to talk about my visa experience and how I applied to this university for doing bachelor's in business administration. For me, I had to just go onto Google, search up like universities nearby Massachusetts because my aunt lives here in Massachusetts, and throughout the research I found that universities in Connecticut and New Hampshire, there are universities in Massachusetts too, but I feel like they're too expensive for me to like pay the tuition. So when I researched, I felt SNU was the best option for me, and it was like the priority, that's the one. That was like a priority for me. So I applied to it and I was so lucky that I got into the university. So that was the research. My mom was the biggest part, and I feel like she never like had good sleep the period of time where I applied to the university and did stuff. For the most part, the process was smooth until my first rejection of the visa. That was just a huge bumper. I was like, we're done, we can't do this again, it's gonna take a long time. I can just join in like a college back in India in Hyderabad. Why do I have to apply for another like visa interview and stuff like that? But my mom and my dad were always a big pillar of support, and I'm glad they were there like that. So after my high school, that's my 12th grade back in India, I applied for this university. So I applied to Southern New Hampshire University and Southern Connecticut State University after my 12th grade. I got my results and then I applied to the university first. And once I applied, I needed my English proficiency test scores for that. So I had to write a test for particularly the universities that I applied. I had to write Duolingo as my English proficiency test. So once I applied for the universities and sent my English proficiency test scores, I had to also prepare for my visa and all of that. Because when I looked up on YouTube, I never found any videos that would favor me and my major, or like an undergraduate student, mainly from India. So I feel like this video would be a helpful video for you guys to get to know more about this information and how to apply to a university and what the steps are. Let me get more deep into what the steps are. So I had to send my 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th grade transcripts to the university in order for me to get an acceptance letter from them. And then I sent my Duolingo test results. Also, a short story about Duolingo. The first time I wrote the Duolingo, it did not give me any results, and I had to pay the second time. I'm not exactly sure how much. It should be around like 2,000 rupees in India for the Duolingo test. So you need to pay 2,000 rupees to write the exam. And I wrote it once and my tests were not giving the results that I needed. So I had to write it again, and then I got my results and I got a 7.5. So after I got my results and then got my acceptance letter, I need to get an I-20. That should be the next step. And after like, I think it took me almost like a half month to mostly like 56 days. That's not half month. It took me around 56 days for me to get the I-20. And then once I got the I-20, I had to prepare my documents for my visa interview. This was December 2021, I presume. So I was gonna come for the January term and I had to apply for visa interviews. But getting an interview slot was the hardest part, because you wouldn't get any slots anywhere, and it was so hard for me to find a slot. Shit, English is so hard. Yeah, it was really competitive for me to get a visa slot, and my mom mainly, she had sleepless nights for searching for a visa slot. And we didn't know that if we refresh the visa website so many times, I would get logged out for 86 hours. That was a very big mess. And guess what? I found a visa slot in Mumbai. Me and my dad went to Mumbai, went to the visa interview. I went in with all the documents that I needed, but I'm not gonna disclose any consultancy's name. But when I went for my first visa interview, I went through a consultancy for having my documents ready and putting them in a file together and taking them to the visa interview. And one of the consultancy that I went through did a blunder in between, which just turned out for me to get my visa rejected. And I was really depressed the part where I got rejected the first time. But I feel like that just gave me the motivation. And my parents, they never gave up. They were always like, we can do this, and if you're not going for the January term, you can go to the August term. And I applied for the August 2022, and I was so lucky. It was so hard again. It was very competitive to find a visa slot again, and I found a visa slot for August 21st, 22nd. My fingerprints and my visa slot was in Chennai. Telugulo మీకు కొంచెం ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయాలి అనుకుంటే ఐ విల్ మేక్ అనదర్ వీడియో. తెలుగులో మీకు ఇంకా క్లారిటీగా నేను తెలుగులో ఇంకో వీడియో చేస్తాను డెఫినెట్లీ దీని గురించి, ఓన్లీ తెలుగులో మాట్లాడి. బట్ ఫర్ నౌ, and once I went to the visa interview, I had like 4 questions from the visa officer. He asked me like where I'm coming from, what my parents' professions are, and how much are they earning, and who's going to sponsor me for my education here in United States. I feel like the visa officer was the sweetest person compared to my experience with my first visa interview. He was also sweet, but the second officer was really, really sweet, and I had a really good conversation. I feel like it was more like a friendly talk than an interview, and he really liked my answers. And it was funny when he asked me, do you want me to approve your interview? And I was like, yeah. And he said, yeah, you're approved. And then I ran outside that embassy like crazy because all the security officers were like, you gotta stop, ma'am, you're running too fast. I went and I broke down totally in front of my dad. He was waiting for me and he was so happy that I got it. And that happened. It was a very nice experience in Chennai. And then after my visa interview, we went to Arunachalam and we had like a ప్రదక్షిణం చేసాము శివుడి దగ్గర. It was very nice, me and my dad. After my visa interview, my flight was in like 4 days after the visa interview. I had to come back from Chennai really quick, shop the things that I needed because my term started on the 29th and I had to fly on the 27th. So that was hectic. It was dad shopped some and I went and we all like gathered everything that I needed. I flew on the 27th and I got to United States I flew through Emirates. I flew the 27th and I was here on the 28th night, and I had orientation on 29th the morning. I was totally jet lagged. I had fever and it was bad. Here. That's Fatima, guys. Behind the camera. Yeah, my ID picture was a disaster because I looked like a mess, a whole mess, and it was not good. If you guys have any questions regarding how to apply to a university and what documents you need, and mainly it's just the transcripts and your passport, that's really important for you to get here. So do apply your passport first if you want to start the process, and after you get into the university, they will give you all the instructions for you to follow up. They'll send you the I-20 to your home, and then they'll keep updating you on like having like virtual meetings on Zoom or like Teams, Microsoft Teams. And when I had mine, I had like a supervisor named Brad, and I never ever got to talk to him when I came here. I think he like left SNU or something, the campus, like the college that I go to. So that's sad, but he was a really nice person who like helped me throughout this process. He always guided me where to go and what to do. My college started, I'm a sophomore now, and the journey is going good. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you guys like it. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe, and if you feel like this video is helpful for someone else, do share it to them, and maybe comment if you guys want to know more about the process or anything that I spoke in the video. Thank you so much. Bye.